What's up, Summoners? King Blair here. Today we're going to be talking about the new hero, Khawana. She's a 4-star, so she doesn't have a banner. But we're also going to be talking about the new selective equipment because this rotation's pretty crazy. A lot of stuff you're going to have to watch out for. And even with Khawana, I feel like I'm butchering her name, but even with the new hero, there's a lot of things that are going to be really interesting going forward. So first we're going to start off with looking at the new hero, Khawana. Khawana. We're going to go with Khawana. So let me know if you guys actually know how you pronounce her name. I'm doing really bad, but I'll try my best. But let's just kind of take a look at her skills. So she is one of the main storyline characters per se, from the Emerson tribe. So really cool. Really cool that they actually added her. I love when they add like actual storyline characters because you actually get attached to them. Like the thing why like I didn't get as excited with like the recent ones, like with the fire one that they just put out. I already forgot her name. It's because she's not a storyline character yet. Like I know they're world building, but it's just like there's so many good characters. Like I'm happy Pavel's coming out. But all right, let's get stopped and get sidetracked. Let's look at the skills. So first skill, 2 bleeds, and then does extra damage, additional damage on top of that if the enemy is debuffed. So most of the time you're probably gonna proc the second skill. It may not be her applying the debuffs. It may be someone else, but it's still gonna be like, you know, pretty good damage. As you see, like you see it going after, boom. It's not a detonation effect, but it's neat. It makes it so like if they have debuffs, you're gonna be doing a lot more damage. And I'm wondering if it's gonna be considered true damage. So like what I'm saying by that, I don't know if you guys know about the Ranger special drink, but that's gonna do a set damage no matter the defense of the enemy. So I'm wondering if this skill kind of works like that. If it does, that's really good for taking down tanky units. But overall, pretty solid first skill. Second skill, this is the skill that I'm like, holy cow, they're really pushing fire units. So the second skill increases the attack of all allies. Not bad, nothing crazy, right? But then you look at the second part, and it's like give skill nullifier. Like, what? Skill nullifier. So negates damage from skill, so this does not negate debuffs. So if someone does Dizzy's third skill on you and you don't have immunity or resistance or anything, you lose the skill nullifier because you take no damage, but you still are going to take the debuffs. So you're not going to take any damage from that skill, but you still take the debuffs. This is interesting because it has to be all fire allies for you to get the skill nullifier. So even if you have one ally that's not fire, this skill won't proc. But if it does, guys, AoE skill nullifier, that's like Moonlight CC level. Imagine that, but on top of giving them all skill nullifier, on top of that, give them an increased attack. That's pretty good, you know, like that's pretty crazy. And it's on a 4-tune cooldown. I think Queen Zeus is like 5 or 6, and I think Khawana is actually, yeah, she's Div and she's pretty fast. You can even give her RNL, and this skill will like go down quicker, and you can use them more often. So yeah, pretty good. I'm impressed by the second skill. Nothing's like stupid broken, but it's like it also is very niche. So I like that they're balancing that way. And then the ultimate, nothing stupid crazy. Like it's not like an ultimate like, oh, this is the best ultimate ever. But it's kind of like Euphines, except they did it backwards. So I don't know if they're gonna revert that in the future. If they're gonna if like she's not doing much and they decide to buff her. This will probably be the place where they're gonna buff her. Because the stun comes before dispelling 2 buffs, and like that was the same problem Euphine had. She would never get the stun off because people would have immunity. So not a super fan of that because usually you want the buffs to be taken off before, but then again, it was their choice. It increases damage dealt. I don't know how much the damage is, but if it's really good ratios with the fire allies, that's really solid. So I forgot to show the skills for the second skill and the third skill. So pretty lit second skill, and the fact that it's also an AoE attack that increases, it's pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie, I really like the second skill. It's really great. And then last but not least, third skill, Rough Welcome. Attacks the enemy with flame, stuns for 1 time. Oh, we already did that, but let's just look at the animation. I kind of like that. I don't know. She looks like so playful. I like what they did with her character, and like even her weapon. I didn't think it was gonna look like that, but it looks pretty sick. It looks almost like she's dancing with the blades, And like sometimes she'll grab it by the cord. I don't know if you'll see it right here. Yeah, see, she like just spins it around every once in a while. Also, if you soul burn, this skill does more damage. So I really do want to know if this skill just has insane damage if you have all fire. So if you guys already built a Khawana, which is like, look at you, because you first have to pull her already, which is pretty nutty, and then already have built her. That's pretty insane. But overall, what I think about her and what I think overall, so they're really trying to push fire units. They have been putting like S tier or like upper tier fire units more and more and more. Like they looked at they're really trying to support fire. Because now with Khawana, like, you can compare her up with like Hazel or Tamarine for healer. Then put like, you could put like a Kayron if you really want to put Kayron with like skill nullifier to make him last longer and have skill nullifier up longer. You can put him with the Kayron for arena. Or if you're doing strictly PvE, if you put her, Hazel or Tama, or Hazel and Tama, and then like the new 5-star hero, or you could put Lilias. Like there's so many good fire units out right now. And with the addition of Khawana, now that like she's starting to give them, she's kind of like a Hazel, but she's a damage Hazel. So Hazel is a really good support, but there wasn't any big single target damage fire units besides like Lidica. But I feel like Khawana's gonna have way more damage than Lidica, especially because she's an assassin. So really solid support. Having her is probably gonna be like, if you want those like super fast golem clears without having like a cheese strat. There is some couple cheese strats out there that work, but not always as consistent. If you just want a consistent, fast clear, it's probably gonna be with Khawana, just because I feel like this third skill can do like not okay amount of damage, and especially to the golem if you set it up right. Especially because the golem is earth, takes more damage from fire and allies. I think she could be even a one shot. Like so, I think she's gonna be vital for like really fast golem clears. So overall, really solid unit. The only problem I see with her, in PvP aspect wise, why I don't think Khawana teams can be viable yet. I say that yet because they may be viable. Seaside Bellona literally just absolutely murks her. It almost makes her second skill almost invalid. Because let's say you outspeed. So I do think she has pretty fast substats. So yeah, so she's really fast. So you're probably gonna be getting first turn. Whoa, she's really fast. That's pretty nutty. That's way faster than CC. So that's really good. But the problem is, okay, you do your second skill, right? Like say you're going against your enemy, you get first turn, you come in, you do second skill with all your fire allies, you hit everyone with the skill. That already gives Seaside Bellona 4 stacks. So literally if you do anything else with any other unit, like attack with any other unit, you're going to lose your skill nullifier, and then she's going to come in with her third skill and then block you from getting it again. It's just the name of the game. And the worst part is for her to be able to give the skill nullifier, your whole team has to be water. So imagine now a full team of fire units against one Seaside Bellona. Oh my god, I don't even want to think about it. The team will just get absolutely destroyed. And that's the biggest problem right now with fire units, is that they've released too many OP water units and not enough OP earth units. So it makes it so like, this could be really fun. This could actually, I could actually see this in the way future. This being really meta, like having a team with her, like a fire-based team. But the fact that Seaside Bellona is in the game, Dizzy's in the game, all these meta, like Deannie kind of still in the game. She still pops up here and there. But just the fact that those units are there are going to keep her in check. And are going to make it so you can't really play with her a lot in the higher levels, because all you're going to see are Seaside Bellonas. So that kind of is a bummer. But on the bright side, fire units did get really good support. They used to be one of the weaker elements. Now the weakest element is Earth, by far. The only good Earth unit I've seen is actually Charles. And I really do think that in the future they're really going to have to introduce stronger Earth units. I'm hoping that Pavel is going to be a direct counter to Seaside, because Seaside is kind of dominant right now. If they do what they did for the Pavel from the storyline, that'd be crazy. Just put Seaside Bellona at 80% from the start of the battle. Like, that'd be awesome, but I don't think they're going to do that. But, alright. Now, on to the artifacts. So, a lot of people are complaining about these because they said it wouldn't do anything. And I was like, wait, these are broke. Like, these are actually really, really good. So, if we go to Hall of Trials, exchange. So, the 3 that got added are going to be Gen Purg, Sirmia, and Bellona. I was surprised about the Sirmia one. I didn't think she really needed a buff, but then again, I don't have a Sirmia. I've always wanted one. I've always thought she was really good for PvE and PvP. But, okay, so basically, let's just talk about one of these. The Bellona one is insane. Like, I saw this and I was like, I actually need to build my Bellona again for PvE, because this just makes her, even for PvP, this gives her a lot of like different things that she can able to use. So first and foremost, effectiveness. I personally struggled a lot with getting the effectiveness up on my Bellona, and I always struggled getting up to that point. So having this extra effectiveness makes it so you're more reliably going to land that third skill while still being able to build her with damage. That's the biggest thing. I actually think that's a really good choice that they did with effectiveness. It's one of the few times I actually want effectiveness on one of these. As far as what you can get, so the spell one buff from each enemy, that would make that skill so much better. Like already, just thinking about that, because she gets immunity and she gets the spell one buff. That's pretty good, guys. Like that's really good. If you're trying to build her for like more like an extended fight, or more for like a, like even against the Asimak hunt, like if the queen, if you're struggling with that and you have a Bellona, just slap that on. She's gonna be able to take off like the extra attack, the extra defense, because it's 100%. There's no like, oh, with the percent chance. No, it's like you're dispelling a buff. Really, really solid. Second skill, increases chance to decrease defense by 20. Guys, this is like what I've always wanted. The reason why Bellona used to not be viable, and why Tenebria still, I don't know if they keep buffing her, but I don't know if they finally did it. I haven't read her buff. But the biggest reason why the biggest defense breaker out there is to win is because to win is 100%. And he also does crit rate, but that's besides the point. But he's one of the only ones with 100% AoE decreased defense. The fact that they finally gave that to her, the 100%, even if she doesn't get the proc off, is amazing. This is 100% now. With the second skill, with the third skill, if you just do a raw third skill, that's 100%. That's what I always wanted. You know, that's always what I wanted my Bellona to do. I'm always so angry when I used to play with her and have super high effectiveness, but she doesn't even get it off because the thing. So that's huge. And then the last one, I honestly feel like it's the worst one out of all of them. Yeah, she can proc it a lot, but 15%, there's units that do that way easier. But overall, insane. I don't know why people would complain about this. This actually makes Bellona like really good for Labyrinth. Like really, really good for all the Labyrinths, because she's able to take off debuffs, and then for PvP, if you want to do PvP, the second one, being able to decrease defense. That's amazing. The Sirmia ones are also like, what were they thinking? I'm just kidding. She kind of did need it, but attack 7 to 14%. That's a whole ass substat. That's a substat right there. That's really, really solid. That will give you more of a chance to be able to one-shot the unit that you're trying to go against. And then when you look at it, playing with fire grants great chance to grant an extra attack. So that's already really solid. It's a little bit more gamble, which kind of goes with their thing of lucky dice, because you know it's kind of like a gamble if you're going for the first skill and trying to get that little cheese. I don't think that's the best one out of all of these. Second one grants a barrier for 2 turns. Barrier increases the proportion of the attack. I guess if you're having trouble with your Sirmias dying, because you typically start with all in though. That's the thing, because all in is the skill that does the penetrate, and then you go into hot streak with resets all in, and then you do all in again. So that one is like, I could kind of see it for extended fights, but not a fan of the second one. And then the last one decreases skill cooldown of hot streak by 2 turns when an enemy is defeated. So that just makes it so you can one shot quicker, or put out damage quicker. So for PvE, all in is like solid, because you're reducing this cooldown. So you do your combo, you did two of the all-ins, you go for hot streak, you go back for all-in, you kill your target. Now you have a cooldown again, like back to like 1 or 2 turns, and you can just do it all over again. And that's pretty good. Overall, I feel like the first one is the one I would go for, because it makes her be able to get more out of her skills. And it doesn't say that it's permanently, so I wonder if you can actually like chain the first skill and just keep getting extra turn, because it doesn't say chance to grant an extra. Oh, I wonder if it's just an extra attack that she attacks twice, but again, that's still pretty solid. Gives her more of a chance to be able to do more damage. So pretty solid overall. The attack percentage is probably the biggest part of all of this, because it all, like with my Watcher Shuri, you can never get enough attack. And last but not least, Purgus getting more health. Nothing super crazy about Gen Purg. Usually most people don't use him. He's really annoying when you put him in defense. It's just the fact that like not a lot of people have use for him. He doesn't do much besides disruption. Like increases the defense, and it's like pretty good chance. That's actually really good if you want to survive. The combat readiness, that's really annoying. Like giving it more. But I don't know. The Purgus ones aren't super crazy, but it's still enough to put him back on the map, especially with the first one, to let him be able to tank a lot. And then the decreased skill cooldown, that gives you more chances to disrupt the enemy. So overall, the second one's probably the most practical for the Gen Purg, making sure that you can actually cut into the enemy when they hit you. Especially really good for Seaside Bellona, because Seaside Bellona is forced to use her ultimate, and is like her second skill, you can't control that. It's always going to proc. So that would be really punishing towards Seaside Bellona, especially because you're giving your team more and more. So that's the nice part about Gen Purg, and I could actually see him being a very viable counter to Seaside Bellona, because Seaside Bellona would get her turn, but you'd get so much advantage off of Gen Purg's second skill. So that is all I have for you guys today. There's so much amazing stuff happening right now. I know that the last time like people were starting to find ways to abuse the new Serato, the ML Serato. I have one. I need to build him. I might be making a video of him in the future. But overall, really exciting stuff. Really cool stuff happening for fire units. Golem's about to be a breeze. I feel like that's the next part that they're targeting is the earth section, because, or the Golem, because Wyvern, they already beat that horse to death. There's so many good Wyvern units that Wyvern B11 is honestly a joke. Now they're trying to make Golem B11 a joke with like all these fire support. If you get all these fire units built up, you're gonna be able to just wreck. And then last but not least, the new changes to the, and they're probably gonna start introducing the Earth Heroes. But that is all I have for you guys today. I will see y'all next time. Peace.